Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Do you remember what was one of the 4 points Russia put forth as reasons for attacking unprovoked Ukraine? Do you remember one of them? There was the so-called denazification of Ukraine. The Russians claim that the Ukrainian government has a lot of Nazi in it. The system, as people call it here, it's systemically racist. Over there, the Russians claim it's systemically Nazi. He said there's a lot of people over there who support this kind of ideology in the high position in the government. I know they claim, well, Zelensky is Jewish, can't be possible, there's no Nazism. Okay, that's like saying, well, the President Obama was half black, that means cannot be any racism in the United States of America. No, you understand the stupidity of that, therefore let's move on. I just had to discard that stupid argument. Now we have an article by New York Times, and people familiar with New York Times from New York, they understand why these guys probably will take on the this issue. The thing is, I have 2 headlines. One I think is from Yahoo, regarding the presence of Nazi symbols on the Ukrainian side in the war, covering for Ukrainians in a certain way, but then following and reaching their reasons why they make this article. Not necessarily because of the Ukrainians, is about that ideology spreading, it seems, on both sides. That's going to be the point of the article, or one of the points. So let's go to this article. So this is the way I find it. And this is the first, when the list of all this news from Yahoo. Yahoo, okay. Why Nazi symbols adorn some Ukrainian military garb. Troops use of patches bearing Nazi emblems risks fueling Russian propaganda. Well, they're going to prove they were, so there's no Russian propaganda. It's something that you should do, which is, bring the facts forward and spreading imagery that the West has spent a half of century trying to eliminate. So, let's see. This is from the New York Times right here. And this is a different title. Nazi symbols on Ukraine's front lines highlight thorny issues of history. It's a different title than the other one, if you don't remember. Why Nazi symbols adorn some Ukrainian military garb. Nazi symbols of Ukraine front lines highlight thorny issues of history. All right, New York Times. This guy right here, I don't think that this guy is a fighter in reality, because he, based on this picture, this is my observation, I can have my own observations, okay, stupid or not. This fighter right here, supposedly he is very, relaxed here and waiting for the Russians to come. But I think his equipment and his clothes are too clean for what he claims to be doing right here in this environment. All right, that's my observation, okay? Everything is too clean. He should be all on the elbows. He should be full of dirt. He should be on the knees full of dirt. He's not. He is not on his belly. How do you think he looks over there? By levitating or by dragging his body over that dirt up? Or do you think someone is washing this? All right, so that's my first observation, including around your eyes and the mouth. When you breathe dust, that's going to be seen over there around your mouth, all the dust that came in with the humidity of your saliva and your breath. People who know shit. People who don't, oh, that's beautiful. He's waiting. He's courageous, but I don't think he's a fighter here in this country. Or if he is, look at this. The only thing that is dirty, the boots right here, which should be, look what's on the ground. Anyway, move on. So this article comes from June 5, 2023. Since Russia began its invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, the Ukrainian government and NATO allies have posted, then quickly deleted 3 seemingly innocuous photographs from their social media feeds. A soldier standing in a group, another resting in a trench, and an emergency worker posing in front of a truck. In each photograph, Ukrainians in uniform wore patches featuring symbols that were made notorious by Nazi Germany and have since become part of the iconography of far-right hate groups. An image of Ukrainian soldiers wearing a patch containing the Totenkopf, that's a dead head, symbol, an example of Nazi iconography that was posted on the Twitter account on Ukraine's defense ministry, then deleted. Totenkopf right there, over the flag. Good, we will move on. And this is not all that these guys are saying. There were videos that I saw. It was that, was it CNN? Was a CNN guy in Ukraine that videotaped some Ukrainians showing the Roman salute from a tank, from armored vehicles driving by. Another one showing it. Many patches like this I've seen than the three that these guys are claiming. But these guys are claiming the ones posted by the Westerners. So let's go back, and because it's much more. In each photograph, Ukrainians in uniform wore patches featuring symbols that were made notorious by Nazi Germany and since became part of the pop of far right. The photographs and the deletions highlight the Ukrainian military's complicated, oh my god, that complicated, Putin told you about the complication, relationship with Nazi imagery. A relationship forged under both Soviet and German occupation during World War II. We're not going to go and see the reasons why, because the reasons why are very uncomfortable. I can't tell you about it. So the relationship has become, oh, I'm not going to go with that. I'm going to go down. The iconography of these groups, including a skull and crossbones patch worn by concentration camp guards and a symbol known as the Black Sun, now appears with some regularity on the uniforms of soldiers fighting on the front line, including soldiers who say the imagery symbolizes Ukraine sovereignty and pride, not Nazism. Remember, this is New York Times. So New York Times is going to make everything about this, not about Ukrainian Nazi symbols. They're going to just veer away from that. In the short term that threatens to reinforce Putin's propaganda and giving fuel to his false claim. What? That Ukraine must be denazified. A position that ignores the fact that Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is Jewish. I already fucked that up, didn't I? At the beginning of this video. More broadly, Ukraine's ambivalence about these symbols and sometimes even its acceptance of them risks giving new mainstream life to icons that West has spent more than half a century trying to eliminate. So, we go here, lower. It says here, the patch in the photograph sets the Totenkopf atop of a Ukrainian flag, the one on top over there, with a small number 6 below. What could 6 be? Or how many were exterminated? The patch, I would just say, weren't 6 million Jews in the Holocaust? I don't know if that's related or not, but anyway, if I make the connection, I'm pretty sure others could make it too. Not necessary is that's what it is. I'm just making it because it's related. That doesn't mean that that's what that symbolizes. That patch is the official merchandise of Death in June, a British neo-folk band that the Southern Poverty Law Center has said produced hate speech that exploits themes and images of fascism and Nazism, end quote. Now, the Anti-Defamation League considers a Totenkopf a common hate symbol. But Jake Hyman, a spokesperson for the group, said it was impossible to make an inference about the wearer of the Ukrainian army based on the patch. Well, if I wear a Ukrainian patch or a flag, I put it in front of my house, that means what? Do I love or do I hate? You know what I mean? The imagery, while offensive, is that of a musical band. Well, I will agree with being offensive. All right, now we go back here to, it says, the soldier in the photograph was part of a volunteer unit called Da Vinci Wolves. Oh, that's the one. which started as a part of paramilitary wing of Ukraine's right sector, a coalition of right-wing organizers and political parties that militarized after Russia's illegal annexion of Crimea. Well, now they do the Nazis with the right-wingers in the volunteering sector, some of them, because this Da Vinci Walls is dead already, I think, therefore they can pound on it. And from this, they're gonna get to, guess whom? The Russians. Yes, you guess. All this article is going to be eventually telling that, no, actually the Russians are doing that too. So, two wrongs make it a right? Yes. At least 5 other photographs on the Wolves' Instagram and Facebook pages featured the soldiers wearing Nazi-style patches, including the Totenkopf. So they try to get the symbols into this Wolves thing, and then from the Wolves into far right, and then to the Russians. Okay? Not the Ukrainians per se. No, they wouldn't do that. All right. It says here, NATO military is an alliance that Ukraine hopes to join, do not tolerate such patches. Okay, all right. Now, last month, Ukraine's State Emergency Services Agency posted on Instagram a photograph of an emergency worker wearing the black sun symbol, also known as a Sonnenrad, that appeared in a castle of Heinrich Himmler, the Nazi general and SS their director. So those guys were pretty much very much knowledgeable about this kind of things. If Sonnenrad appeared in the castle of Heinrich Himmler, okay, all right. The black sun is popular among neo-Nazis and white supremacists. Again, they're going to make this connection. It says, in March 2022, NATO's Twitter account posted a photograph of a Ukrainian soldier wearing a similar patch. Both photographs, when did you meet this? I've never seen this, people wearing something like this. Have you seen them? Unless I saw them in the pictures over there with emergency worker and all that. Both photographs were quickly removed. In November, during a meeting with Times reporters near the front line, a Ukrainian press officer wore a Totenkopf variation made by a company called Reich. Pronounced Reich. Yes. He said he did not believe the patch was affiliated with the Nazis. A second press officer present said other journalists has asked soldiers to remove the patch before taking photographs. So yeah, that was all fake right there. Igor Kozlovsky, a Ukrainian historian and religious scholar, said the symbols had meanings that were unique to Ukraine and should be interpreted by how Ukrainians view them, not by how they had been used elsewhere. Oh, are you going to say the same thing about the Roman salute, Kozlovsky? Huh? I think so. I mean, you make the point right here. Exactly. Should be interpreted on that. So, me being by birth Romanian, can I use the Roman salute? And if not, why? Because some idiots used it 20 years, and the Roman salute was used, 1,300 years? At least. By my people. So, okay, thank you. The symbol can live in any community or any history independently of how it is used in other parts of the earth, Kozlovsky said. And I agree with that totally, but you have people that really don't like that. And those people... blah blah blah, blah blah blah. All right, now that I said that one, let's move on. Russian soldiers, all right, there you go, in Ukraine have also been seen wearing Nazi-style patches, underscoring how complicated interpreting these symbols can be in a region steeped in Soviet and German history. So we have a problem with these guys right now, all right? The whole article was written partly to absolve these guys of any guilt, all right? And then drop it on these guys right here, it seems to me, or at least an attempt. Okay? And then here they make the point that Nazis and this, and then again, Ukrainian nationalists, far right, and all that. Well, I'm not going to go deeper because it's the end of the article, I think, in 2 more right here. That's it. But again, we end with this. See? We add with that, and then we go to Azov's regiment again. So what do you think, my friends? I think there are definitely individuals and groups who are promoting and believing in that ideology, and they show it. Some of them are showing it with no problem. Some of them are trying to pretend that no, that's not it, it's something else. I am for freedom of speech, and for me, but on the other hand, that really falls. But all these guys that were portrayed over there and showed the photographs are not leaders, are foot soldiers, and could make you say, well, they have no power and so on. Yes, but if something like this is tolerated, that means the guys in charge. Don't tell me they have such a broad mind to say, an open mind to say, you know what, we're okay with the freedom of speech. I don't think so. Why? Because they want to kiss someone's ass, and they want to kiss someone's ass. And again, why would, for instance, Zelensky tolerate such things? He's not aware of them? I mean, I am for freedom of speech, but unfortunately use the same measure for all sides. Not here, I think, they can do it in context here, but no, here, no, kind, no, you can't do that. Verboten. Anyway, this is it, my friends. I think, as I always say, that's no smoke without a fire. And here I think it's a big smoke. And the people are trying to somehow, don't look here, over there, and not here. Come on, man, do something, hide it. Don't distinguish it. They're trying to hide it. The guys that were made to remove for the photograph, what does that mean? Why don't you leave it like that, and then you let us know, and everybody who must know, hey, this is the reality over there among some of those guys over there, which is the truth right here. No, they don't. They try to give justifications and all that. Why? Because there's just the Ukrainians right now. All right, there's Ukrainians right now doing this against the Russians. But when the Russians will be gone, what do you think those guys will do? Turn to another little war. Why? Because it's an ideology. An ideology finds enemies of the ideology. Don't find Russians or French or Americans or Romanians. No, they fight anything that fights the ideology. Like here with the bullshit we have right now. These guys are fighting an ideology. They have an ideology that fight anyone who opposes the ideology, regardless. That's why sometimes you have people who claim this and that, and they find and fight, a black or African American court justice. Supreme Court justice. Oh my God, he must be that. Or they fight Finkelstein for, oh my God, no, because it's the ideology. And ideology fights whatever. At that point, they don't care if you're an immigrant, they don't care if you're black, they don't care if you're this, if you're, no, you fight the ideology, you're a whole. The same here. And those guys were going to turn from the Russians. Oh, I'm going to wear this because I'm against Russians. Well, I don't think it's the Russians per se, it's the idea. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.